In the year that's passed since Prince Harry was last home in the UK, relations with his family had, somehow, managed to reach new lows. In an interview with American journalist Hoda Kotb for NBC's morning show Today, aired yesterday, the prince was at pains to praise Her Majesty, especially for her sense of humour. He also laid claim to an exceptional bond with the monarch. "We have a really special relationship. We talk about things that she can't talk about with anybody else." If true, his rare visits must be a boon for his grandmother. Yet for all his professions of affection and uniqueness during the interview, Harry couldn't resist a dig at the royal family. That, of course, constitutes a dig at the Queen, who presides over it. Stephen Glover said, "I can't see any other interpretation of his remark that, in meeting the Queen at Windsor, he was just making sure she's protected and got the right people around her. Generous souls may say the prince was simply expressing concern for her welfare, as she has not been in the best of health recently. But the 12-word utterance, just making sure she's protected and got the right people around her, implies that those looking after her could be doing a better job. It is a preposterous thing to say." While Harry and his wife Meghan have been more than 5,000 miles away in California, courtiers have been working around the clock to care for the Queen, and members of her family have been visiting her. Harry's raising the possibility that she mightn't have been properly looked after was an insult. Courtiers aside, several members of the Queen's family will feel put out. Foremost among them may be Prince Charles and Prince William. Am I reading too much into what could have been a careless comment? I don't believe so. We should also not ignore the fact that, when the prince was asked by Hoda Kotb whether he missed his brother and his dad, he dodged the question, and said he was focused on the Invictus Games. This is the sporting event for wounded, injured and sick servicemen and women, which has been taking place in the Netherlands. It was founded by Harry. Whatever else may be said about him, this is a great achievement. To return to the interview, he used it to deepen, rather than repair, the rift that has grown up between himself and his father and brother. A week ago, Harry and Prince Charles met for just 15 minutes. William was abroad on holiday. What little self-awareness the Duke of Sussex must have. He has seen the Queen only twice in 2 years. He was not present at the memorial service for the Duke of Edinburgh at the end of March. One explanation offered by him was security concerns. Couldn't these be set aside for a grandfather? And yet the absentee prince presumes to question the competence or commitment of those who have not deserted the Queen for California, while he snubs his father and brother. The tension melted away as soon as they saw each other, says a source. They were so relieved to have some time alone to talk. It was supposed to be a quick catch-up so as not to overtax the Queen, who is still recovering from illness and mobility issues, but she insisted Harry and Meghan stay longer. The Sussexes spent 2 hours with her. The source adds, there were tears. Harry was emotional about how frail she's become in the year since he's seen her. A separate palace source says the Queen wasn't interested in berating him, she was keen to move forward. So it beggars belief that just days after their tea and sympathy with Her Majesty in England, Harry betrayed her forgiveness with yet another interview trashing his family. "It's like he can't help himself," said one aghast courtier, after watching Harry make a string of bizarre comments in a chat with US journalist Hoda Kotb from the Invictus Games in the Netherlands. Among his charges was that he was making sure the Queen has the right people around her and is protected. "We talk about things she can't tell anyone else," he said, with a barely concealed smirk. Our source says, why on earth would he go to all the effort of a fleeting visit with the Queen and Prince Charles at Windsor Castle to smooth out family relations, only to go on American television claiming the Queen lacks the right sort of people around her? It makes no sense. He's lost it. Speaking exclusively to New Idea, royal expert Phil Dampier had some choice words to describe Harry and Meghan's roller coaster relationship with the sovereign.